I'm Kristen Vartan. Here are some of the stories making headlines locally. It appears we're all feeling the sweltering heat, even for people outside of the American Southwest. In fact, it's affecting more than 65 million people, and they were placed under heat alerts this weekend. It's affecting people from here in California to places across the nation like Louisiana. Heat alerts include excessive heat watches, excessive heat warnings, and heat advisories. The Weather Prediction Center says temps will be above normal and daytime temps could reach triple digits. Those of us in Central Valley of California and the Southwest will be dangerously hot. And it feels like temps in the Central and Southern Plains could approach 113 degrees, especially in South Texas. But a pair of cold fronts will also arrive later today and tomorrow in Northern California, bringing some relief. And it appears we're all feeling that sweltering heat, even of course for us outside, like I mentioned before. But with all that being said, you might think that we will have some cooling centers open in our area, right? But that is not the case because we're not quite where we need to be for those centers to be open. In order for a cooling center to be open here in our valley area, we have to reach 105 degrees. In our deserts, that is up to 108 degrees. And for our mountain communities, we need to hit 98 degrees. But we will continue to keep you updated when those centers are ready to open, of course. And while we talk about the temperatures needed for us to have those cooling centers open, let's take a look at what we have for our highs today, because as you can see here, we're not anywhere close to that 105-degree range on the valley floor. I mean, Buttonwillow there is at 101, very close, but not quite there. The rest of the areas are in those upper 90s. Our mountains are in those lower 90s and low 80s, and our deserts are in 102 in Ridgecrest and Mojave. And even though it is pretty hot there in our deserts, we are getting a lot of wind, making it feel probably cooler for you. We do have a wind advisory in effect in our deserts, specifically in that range near Mojave and China Lake. 61 miles per hour winds expected at 5 p.m. on Monday. That advisory does not expire until 11 p.m. Monday. We're still getting some gusts here on the valley floor in those teens and low 20 mile per hour winds and 20s and 30s in our mountains. All this wind to be expected is making our air quality better than yesterday. We were in that unhealthy for sensitive group range. Now we are in that moderate range, which means that it's good for everyone, really. And then as we go on into the week, it has cooled down a little bit, but still kind of hot. So make sure you have some water with you. Monday is going to be in those mid 80s. And then as we go on into the week, getting back into those 90s, upper 90s for a good bulk of the week. We will have some reprieve there on Saturday in those mid 80s, but then we're going to jump back up to 98 degrees on Sunday. It's going to be hot. For our mountains too, we're going to be in those 80s and 90s pretty much the entire week, except of course Tehachapi and Fraser Park are going to hit those lower temperatures on Monday. In those upper 60s, a 10% chance of rain in Tehachapi, lower 70s in Fraser Park, but then we will end the week in those 70s. So that's what's making headlines for us in our community. We'll have another update for you later on today.